Six p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. Finance Minister has expressed confidence that ninth review with International Monetary Fund under Extended Fund Facility will soon be concluded. National Assembly was informed today that loans worth 30 billion rupees have been given to 50,000 youth under Prime Minister Youth Programme. Two civilians embraced martyrdom while one got critically injured in an indiscriminate fire from Indian Army in Satwal sector today. International Day of Women in Diplomacy is being observed today. China has called for an end to double standards on counter-terrorism. United Nations has warned a war between Palestine and Israel will become out of control due to use of advanced military weaponry by Israeli forces. And now the news in detail. Finance Minister Ishaq Dar has expressed the confidence that the ninth review with the International Monetary Fund under the Extended Fund Facility will soon be concluded. Winding up discussion on the Budget 2023 and 24 in the National Assembly today, he recalled that the country demonstrated complete compliance on all prior actions, but due to a gap on external financing, it could not be materialized. He, however, said Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif held two meetings with the Managing Director of IMF in Paris recently, during which it was agreed that both the sides will make a last-ditch effort to complete the pending review. The minister said both sides held consultations over the last 3 days. He said, "We have agreed to take additional taxation measures of rupees 215 billion. Clarifying that it will not burden the poor people. The finance minister said 30 billion rupees have been reserved to deal with the issues of climate change and food security. He said 30 billion rupees have been earmarked for the solarization of agri-tube wells and 31 billion rupees for the youth. Highlighting the contribution of overseas Pakistanis, the finance minister said that 80 billion rupees have been allocated to facilitate their remittances, and this will also include a prize scheme. National Assembly today unanimously passed a resolution acknowledging the contribution of international organizations, civil society and the Pakistani diaspora in the fight against climate change and their assistance in rehabilitation of vulnerable communities affected by climate-induced disaster. The resolution was moved by Special Assistant to the Prime Minister, Ramina Khurshid Alam. The resolution recognized the urgent need for global cooperation to combat climate change and mitigate its adverse impacts. The resolution emphasized the importance of collective actions to protect and uplift the vulnerable communities in the face of climate-related challenges. National Assembly was informed today that loans worth 30 billion rupees have been given to 50,000 youth under the Prime Minister Youth Programme over the last 5 months. Special Assistant on Youth Affairs Shahza Fatma Khwaja, rising on the point of order, highlighted the initiatives taken by the present government to create opportunities for the youth. She said it is the first time that loans have been given in the agriculture sector, including for seed, fertilization and purchase of other agricultural inputs. Shahza Fatma said training has been provided to 60,000 youth in various areas, including information technology, whilst training of another 40,000 youth is in progress. Commissioning parade of cadets of 119th Midshipmen and 27th Short Service Commission was held at Pakistan Navy Academy in Karachi today. Chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff Committee, General Sahir Shamshad Mirza, was the chief guest on the occasion. During the event, the Sword of Honour was awarded to Midshipman Muhammad Mustafa and Qaid-e-Azam Gold Medal was awarded to Lieutenant Badr Ali. According to ISPR, cadets from Saudi Arabia and Bahrain were also among the passed out cadets. Pakistan Railways has announced a 33% discount in its fares on all 3 days of Eid al-Adha. According to Pakistan Railways, this discount in fares is for all classes of all trains. This has been done on the directions of Minister for Railways Khwaja Saad Rafiq. And this is Radio Pakistan. At the United Nations, Pakistan has called for women's further empowerment. Addressing a high-level forum celebrating International Day of Women in Diplomacy, Deputy Permanent Representative of Pakistan to the United Nations, Ambassador Amir Khan said women have the ability to foster dialogue, resolve conflicts and provide long-term solutions in peace building, conflict resolution and humanitarian efforts. He urged a need to strengthen international cooperation and intensify gender perspective in scientific advancement and sustainable development. International Day of Women in Diplomacy is being observed today with an aim to reaffirm that women's participation in all levels of decision making is essential to achieve sustainable development, peace and democracy. This year's theme for the day is Digital All, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. In her message on the occasion, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Narabani Khar said Pakistan has made notable strides in achieving prominent positions for women, including a woman Prime Minister and a young Nobel Prize laureate. 2 civilians have embraced shahadat and 1 has been critically injured in an indiscriminate fire from Indian Army onto a group of shepherds in Satwal sector. According to the ISPR, Indian Army, in a display of its usual inhumane approach towards innocent Kashmiris, opened fire on civilians at 11:55 hours today. It said, driven by a newfound geopolitical patronage, Indian forces have earmarked on a plan to take innocent lives, to satiate their false narratives and concocted allegations. The ISPR further said, while a strong protest is being launched with Indian side, Pakistan reserves the right to respond back in manner of its choosing to protect Kashmiri's life in the line of control belt. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, hundreds of worshippers held a peaceful protest demonstration in the premises of a Jamia Masjid Srinagar against continued house detention of senior leader of Whole Party's Hurriyat Conference and chief cleric Mirwais Umar Farooq. Scores of worshippers assembled inside the Grand Mosque and staged a peaceful demonstration seeking an unconditional and immediate relief of Mirwais. The APHC spokesman in the statement said the continued house detention of the Mirwais is a violation of religious sentiments of Kashmiri Muslims and suspension of Mirwais' fundamental human rights. On the other hand, political experts and analysts in their interviews and statements in Srinagar said Indian Home Minister Amit Shah's visit to occupied Jammu and Kashmir is a smokescreen aimed at averting international community's attention from grave human rights violation being perpetrated by Indian troops in the territory. China has called for an end to double standards on counter-terrorism. During a General Assembly's debate on the UN Global Counter-Terrorism Strategy, China's permanent representative to United Nations Zhang Jun said terrorism remains a significant challenge that threatens international peace and security. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk has warned that war between Palestine and Israel will become out of control due to use of advanced military weaponry by Israeli forces in occupied West Bank. In a statement, he said these latest killings and violence serve only to drive Israelis and Palestinians deeper into an abyss. The UN rights chief said that use of Israeli airstrikes is more generally associated with conduct of armed hostilities rather than a law enforcement operation. And finally, the weather report. Very hot and humid weather is expected in most plain areas of the country, while dust raising and gusty winds are likely during the next 12 hours. However, dust, thunderstorm and rain are expected in upper and central Punjab, Islamabad, Putuhar region, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, north and east Balochistan and Kashmir. Now some of the headlines once again. Finance Minister has expressed confidence that ninth review with International Monetary Fund under Extended Fund Facility will soon be concluded. National Assembly was informed today that loans worth 30 billion rupees have been given to 50,000 youth under Prime Minister Youth Program. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.